Everything that I talk about in this workshop today comes from my brand new book, A Parent's Guide to Self-Regulation, a practical framework for breaking the cycles of dysregulation and mastering emotions for parents and children. I suspect that if you find the information in this workshop today helpful, you also will find the book very helpful. So go ahead, tap the link in my bio so that you can pre order your copy. Okay, let's talk about the second shift. Hey, welcome back to the series. I hope you're feeling a little bit more confident with regard to how you're going to approach the second shift. Now that you know what the second shift means, you know the challenges, you know the implications for you, you know how to tell whether you're overwhelmed or you're overstimulated, you know the mental health toll it can take. That now means we need to talk strategies. What are we going to do about this? Because let's face it, let's be honest, we're going to continue to have to experience the second shift. We are going to continue to deal with overwhelm and overstimulation, but there are things that we can do to manage it and to cope. So let's be clear right now. Nothing here is a magic antidote. Nothing here is a magic pill. There will always be challenges when you are a parent. There will always be challenges when you are a working parent or a stay at home parent. So, nothing I say here today is going to take those challenges away, but rather, everything I say here today is going to help you learn how to better manage the challenges that you face so they become easier and less of a burden for you. Let's do it. Strategy number one, are you setting boundaries? I know we hear this term a lot. We hear this phrase a lot, set boundaries here, set boundaries there. But when you become a parent and we're talking about the challenges in the second shift, boundaries are absolutely needed. So, what type of boundaries should you be setting? You should definitely be setting some boundaries with regard to your work life and your family life. Okay? Because trust me, I realize and I understand the pressures that can come when you have a full time job, when you have a career, when you are an entrepreneur. Sometimes it feels like the work doesn't stop. However, what I also know as a psychologist and a parent myself is that when I am in situations or when my clients are in situations where they are trying to do multiple things at one time, that leads to overstimulation and overwhelm very quickly, especially when it involves children. So, have you ever been in a situation where you're trying to parent while also get work done at the same time? It is so frustrating. It's so irritating, and it can lead you to become more frustrated and irritated with your children when really they are not to blame. And instead, it's that you didn't set the proper boundaries around the family time in the second shift. So, what I encourage you to do is really think more strategically about your day. Where do you need to set some boundaries so that you don't find yourself double dipping in your roles? You don't find yourself trying to multitask. You don't find yourself trying to do multiple things at once, especially when it comes to your roles and identities. I highly encourage during the second shift as much as possible, because I do realize life happens, things are challenging. As much as possible, try to stay in the role of parent and family orientation time as you can during the second shift. So set that boundary around when your workday ends or when your time ends and when it's time to move into family time or parenting so that you can really focus on that time and be present. Strategy number two, let's create a schedule, okay? Because one thing I know about the second shift is that it can feel out of control sometimes. While that time period typically may only be 2 to 4 hours, it feels like you're in a time warp where the time just goes and goes, and it can sometimes feel like 8 hours or 1,000 hours when really it was just a short period of time. Why it feels like that is sometimes there's not a schedule. Maybe you're not knowing what to expect because every day feels different, or maybe you're being a little too loose with regard to what's happening during that time. But a schedule can really help you to feel more at ease because you'll know what to expect, what to anticipate, but also your kids will as well. So let's talk about a schedule. Creating a schedule can help you feel more in control of your time. And when we're talking about overstimulation, overwhelm, anxiety, stress, the more control that we feel, the better. Okay, I know we can't control everything, but if I can give you a little sense of control, especially during the second shift, I want to do that for you. So I want you really to be thinking about, how is the day going to flow with the second shift? When is dinner time? When is family time? When is TV time or tablet time or screen time? When is snack time? When is bath time? When is bedtime? When are you actually going to plan something for you? When's your 5 minutes to just chill and to decompress? When is your 10 minutes to just go escape? Whatever it is that needs to be scheduled, schedule it in the time so that you feel like you're in control and the second shift is not in control of you. Strategy number 3 is time to delegate. Because again, second shift has started and you are already exhausted. You're showing up exhausted. You're showing up tired, fatigued. You want to take a nap, but you know you got to push through. So, what happens often or sometimes is that we maybe are taking on too much during the second shift. We're doing too many things, and instead, we need to be delegating some of the tasks. We need to be collaborating with other people so that the second shift can feel smoother. So, what does delegating and collaborating look like? If you have a partner or a co-parent who is there with you in the second shift, that means you two being on the same page about here are all the things that need to be done and whose responsibility is what. That can take a lot of the burden and the worry off of one particular person, which often ends up being the woman or the mother in that situation, to feel like she needs to do it all. And instead, this is a shared experience. This is a shared opportunity for us to divide and conquer so that we can get to the end of the second shift in one piece, but also feeling some contentment because we've had fun time with our family, we've enjoyed the family, we've had a good dinner, and now it's time to relax, right? If you do not have a co-parent or a partner to share the experience of the second shift with you, I want you to be thinking about the second shift in this way. What are some of the ways that we can take some of those responsibilities or some of those tasks and make them easier for you? Are there ways that you can outsource, or are there ways that you can scale down the level of difficulty with some of the things? For instance, maybe you decide that every Monday and Wednesday you all are going to order food out. Or maybe you decide that every Tuesday and Thursday you all are going to do dinner with another family because it's easier to do that when you are sharing the responsibility. Or maybe you decide that your children are old enough now to handle bath time on their own. Maybe you decide that the children are old enough now where you don't have to do that load of laundry this evening, but they can do it. So really thinking about the ways that you can delegate with your community, you can delegate through outsourcing, or you can delegate and be collaborative with your children. And look, even my 2-year-old helps a little bit, okay? Delegate, collaborate with your children so that you are not doing everything in the second shift. Okay, let's talk about taking a break. I know that this can sound counterintuitive because the whole reason why we're overwhelmed and overstimulated, feeling stressed during the second shift is because we feel like we need more breaks, right? Well, guess what? You probably can take a break during this time. And maybe we just need to shift your mindset around it. Because let's imagine maybe you work a full work day, or maybe you had a full productive day, whatever it is for you. Once that 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock time period hits, most humans are exhausted or tired or feeling a little fatigued during that time. For some parents, they feel the need to just keep on going because the fear is if I stop, I may not be able to keep up the energy that I need to get through the rest of the day. And so the mistake that they make is that they keep going. They don't take a break. They don't sit and rest for a little bit. They're like, okay, let me just get all this stuff done so that I can just get to the end of the day. That's a mistake. I actually don't want you to do that. If you are beginning your second shift and you're realizing, oh my gosh, I'm tired. Oh my gosh, I'm so irritable. I don't think I can be present today. I don't think I can connect with the kids. I don't know if I can get done everything that needs to be done. Take a break. Take a break. So, what that might look like is maybe instead of jumping right into the task and the demands, the responsibility that the second shift may bring, have a seat for 5 minutes. Have a seat for 10 minutes. No, it's not going to take all the exhaustion away. No, it's not going to take all the fatigue away, but it is a break. And it gives you a moment to gather yourself. It gives you a moment to take care of yourself. And that might be the energy or the boost you need to get through the rest of the day. If you have children who are used to you being on as soon as you begin that second shift, it's time to communicate to your kids that you also need a break. And you can simply have this conversation no matter the developmental age of your children and let them know, hey, I am tired. I'm human. I'm not feeling well. I need to sit down. I need to lay down. I need some time to myself. However you want to word that, but our children need to understand that we are human. We get tired and we also need breaks. So, I want you to figure out where in the second shift will you take your break. It might be at the start of your second shift. It might be right in the middle of the second shift. But whatever it is, I don't want you to feel like you need to wait until the end of the night before you can sit down and have a moment for yourself. Lastly, let's talk about relaxation and connection during the second shift. Often when we think about the second shift, the first thing that we think about are all of the responsibilities. I need to pack lunches for the next day. I need to cook dinner for tonight. I need to put in that load of laundry. I need to clean up the kitchen. I need to help with bath time. I need to do such and such. I need to finish that project that I started. It's overwhelming, overstimulating, all the terms that we've talked about today. However, there is a big part of the second shift that sometimes if we're so overstimulated and so overwhelmed we can miss, and it is the opportunity to connect with your family. The reason why we had our families is because we value family, we value connection, and our kids want that. But I know more importantly, you want that. You want to be present with your kids. You want to have a good time with them. You likely do miss them when they're at school or when they're away or when you're not with them during the day. This is the perfect time to really prioritize relaxation and connection. And I want to just help you to shift your mindset and your ideas about what should be happening in the evening hours at the end of the day. Yes, I know all the things you have to do. Overwhelming. Yes, I know if you don't get these things done, they will just be added on to the next day, and that is not something you want. But I also know how you light up when you get to just sit and play a game with your kid. I know how much you crave that look in their eyes when you actually get to see something that they've done and they are proud of it. I know how badly you want to be able to have these continuous interactions with your kids that feel joyful, content, relaxing, so that the relationship with them will continue to develop and withstand the test of time. And so, what I'm trying to say to you is think about the ways that you can prioritize and plan some relaxation and connection with your family in the evenings. Maybe this might be after dinner, you all sit down and watch some TV together and cuddle on the couch. It could also be once you get in, you all talk about what was everyone's favorite part of their day. Or maybe it's eating dinner together and reviewing all of the everyone's day, right? Or maybe on Fridays you all do a game night. This doesn't have to be something you do every single day, but it is something I want you to be thinking about more. How can I make the second shift less overwhelming, less overstimulating, and make it more of something that can involve some relaxation and connection with my family too? I have three more thoughts I want to leave with you as we close out this series. But first, let me say thank you so much for being here, for watching this series, for listening to this. And I really am hopeful that it helps you in the next second shift that you experience to have more fun, have more joy, be more content, less overwhelmed, less overstimulation. I want the second shift to be something that feels more manageable for you. And my goal or my hope is that this workshop was helpful for you. So, three things I want you to know. One, you are not alone in this. If you are watching this today and you feel like, wow, I know I'm the only one that experiences this, I want to let you know that's a lie, because I have worked with so many parents who experience this on a day to day basis, and they too have wondered, am I the only one? Am I the only one who gets overwhelmed every single day in the evening with my kids? Am I the only one that becomes so irritable that I can't even be present? Am I the only one that sometimes dreads coming home because I know how hard it'll feel? Am I the only one that can't get this together? You're not the only one. I also know you're not the only one because it's something that I experience too. Yes, I'm a psychologist, and yes, I'm an author, but I'm also a parent. And let me tell you, parenting is real no matter who you are. And so, yes, I've definitely had moments and days where it felt like the evenings were just too much. And I didn't think I could make it through another second shift. And I used to dread the evenings because I knew how hard they would feel. But I was able to utilize different strategies and change my mindset around it. And that has helped me so much. And I really hope that some of the things we talked about today can help for you as well. Number two, you are not a bad parent if you are experiencing overwhelm, overstimulation, dysregulation in the evenings that sometimes interfere with your parenting. You're not a bad parent, and instead, it's an indication that you need more help, you need more support, you might need more skills, you might need a reframe or a new perspective to think about this specific time period, but then also how you show up as a parent. You're not a bad parent. There are just more things that you need to grow and to learn in this parenting season. And that's also why I did this workshop for you, because I know that sometimes we feel our worst when we are not showing up in the ways that we want, especially when it comes to our kids. However, that's not an internal flaw. It may just mean that, hey, you might need to read an article about this. You might need to watch a workshop about this. You might need to talk to someone about it. Maybe read a book about it. And then you've got it. And so no, you're not a bad parent if sometimes you yell in the second shift. You're not a bad parent if sometimes you are on your phone too much because you just can't handle one more question, or you're feeling so overwhelmed that you just need to zone out. You're not a bad parent if sometimes you just sit in the car or in the garage for 20, 30 minutes at a time because you know as soon as you walk in the door, things are just going to start. You're not a bad parent. You need more help. You need more support. And that's also why I'm here. I want to help you. I want to support you. And my third point is that there is help, there is support. I hope that you have subscribed to my YouTube channel so that you can watch more videos like this and better understand, how can I shift some things in my parenting? How can I take more care of myself? How can I make this easier? My hope is also that you will order my new book, A Parent's Guide to Self-Regulation. In that book, I talk about everything that I talked about today plus more. We talk in depth about the idea of self-regulation and how the inability to self-regulate as a parent can make you dysregulated. So you will have a lot more overwhelming moments. You will have a lot more overstimulation. You will have a lot more dysregulating second shifts that can feel impossible. But then also sometimes when we're so dysregulated as parents, when we can't control our emotions, we can't control our physical bodies, we can't manage our overwhelm or overstimulation, that can spill over into how we parent, but then also the things that we're modeling for our kids. And that is also something I don't want to happen for you. I hope that you will order the new book and enjoy it, read it, because I know how badly you want to be able to show up as the parent that you know you can be. And I also know that maybe you had some experiences as a child that you are trying to unlearn or to break or make sure that they don't come into your parenting now. My new book can help you with that. So go ahead and order your copy. And I'm so excited for you to become the parent that you've always wanted to be. Thank you for watching today, and I hope to see you on the next one.